They got those teeth or something in there, dude. It's crazy. What was that one? Big comfy couch or something where we were kids, where the girl would just pull stuff out of the couch.
The big comfy couch.
You remember that?
Where they did
show?
like 10-second tighties.
I mean, I don't. I just remember she looked like a clown, and she would always just pull people would be in her couch.
You remember Under the Couch, the Dust Bunnies?
Oh, I do remember the
Fuck
Dust
yeah.
Bunnies. That was great, man. Why did? What an idea for a show. I got this idea, man. You know how you always lose stuff in the couch? Like, imagine there's a whole world down there.
Did you have any attraction to her?
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I was so young.
Well, here's what's fucked up.
Know.
My stepmom was a babysitter for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was in high school and Big Comfy Couch would be playing on the TV. So I wasn't looking at her through the eyes of a child. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I was about to say, like, I have to look at her again now. Like, I just remember looking. She looked like either a clown, right? She had a clown
what's
nose.
fucked up. Now I'm all into cosplay and shit.
She had a clown nose on. So
yeah.
I'm like,
now I go to these conventions and I'm like feeling some type of way.
I've never even heard of that fetish. I'm into women who wear clown noses.
Oh, really? You've never heard of someone digging Harley Quinn? You lunatic.
Does she have a clown nose? I don't think so.
She doesn't have a clown nose. The Big Comfy Couch. I'm going to show you what. Big Comfy Couch lady. Okay? I might be alone on this one. But.
You know, she's not bad.
Not terrible.
She's not bad.
Not terrible.
They definitely didn't try to make her look sexy at all either.
Which is weird for a child show. Yeah. You'd think that.
They put her in gigantic overalls.
And now I like baggy clothes.
Oh, interesting. The Big Comfy Couch. I can't believe I remembered that. I couldn't tell you anything else about the show, you know what I mean? What her name was or anything.
Yeah, I don't know that either. Oh, I do remember the doll's name. The doll's Molly.
Jeez, man. I'm going to have to, do something about my memory.
Lunette is the actress's name. Or not the actress's name, but the character's name that she plays.
So before we get into our week, here's something I saw I want to talk to you about. I wonder what your opinion is.
Love it. 10 out of 10. That's my opinion.
This guy I saw, might have been on a TikTok mini documentary.
Here we go.
This guy, he seemed like an old guy, must be 70s or something. So he seemed pretty wise, right? And he says
that does not make me, that doesn't instill the idea that someone's wise to me. When they're 70, I think of them as senile. Look at our last two presidents, my guy. They're in their 70s.
I can't remember.
You think they're wise?
I can't remember what he did for a living, so I went with his age as being his most important trait, I guess.
I would say that there's as someone gets older, they definitely get wiser, but there is a plateau and then a steep cliff. Just a bottoms out.
More and more worthless. So anyways, this guy, he seemed very eloquent and wise. So that's all I wanted to say.
Excellent.
And he talked about right away I was talking about, is there a possibility that our shoes are a hindrance to us because we should be having our feet on the bare earth to help ground ourselves? And it has something to do with electricity or magnetism or something along those lines.
This is one of Liver King's tenets, be grounded.
It is. I guess we have talked about being grounded. Yeah, Liver King does. He does say publicly he'll wear shoes in public, but when he's, as much as he can, he's barefoot. Now, to continue with this guy, he believed in this a lot, and he literally put a metal rod in the ground and then put a metal wire attached to it and then put that all the way into his room and taped it to his toe. Okay. So that every night he could sleep while still being grounded to the earth, apparently. And he claimed that it started helping him in all these different health benefits, right?
Okay.
And then he said he tried to go to these different universities to get it tested, and they laughed him at first, but then eventually one or two of them picked it up and tested him and actually had a bunch of scientific evidence saying that there's something there, but they don't really know how to explain it.
So they didn't have any scientific evidence, but they decided that something was helping this guy.
They took tests, and meaning they had the guy. I don't know if they had other subjects or not, actually, but same thing. Sleep with the toe being connected to the ground, and they showed like body heat images, and the feet on the ones that were connected to the ground were like warmer or like brighter than the people that didn't. And then it went out through their whole body. Like it was just like, it was a little bit brighter on the monitor. So whatever that means, I'm not a doctor or anything. I don't know what they basically said it was doing something, but they couldn't really explain it. And I'm probably butchering because he had more specific. You
do this all the time.
He had more specific health benefits it was doing, but I can't remember. I think
you saw something weird.
I think it might have been arthritis. I think it might have been arthritis is what he was getting at.
Okay, so we already know the human mind is pretty wild, right? Because people get better off placebo shit.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point.
So I have to assume this guy heard Liver King say, stay grounded. And he's like, I'm going to literally ground myself they do to my house.
Can you explain magnets to me?
No. Not at all. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Me neither, man. But I feel like there's something to it.
So this is what I'll say. I guess... grounding serves purposes. Like all your homes have to be grounded, right? So,
yeah. If you're not, then you fucking get surged. You get electrocuted.
What I'm really trying to get at is like
we do not know anything about electricity. Apparently,
no.
Wow,
it's true. I just have to think like the Earth is massive, right? And its magnetic fields are insanely huge.
Okay. But they move too. How crazy is that?
So why is there like half an inch of rubber that's able to prevent me from reaping the reward?
Well,
because rubber doesn't conduct?
Rubber doesn't conduct electricity.
But you'd think like that's such a minuscule amount. It's ruining my chances of not having arthritis.
Think about the difference between you on a trampoline on your socks and you on your shoes. You get like crazy static if you just leave your socks on.
I was not allowed to have a trampoline growing up. In fact, it was a big point of contention in my childhood. I wanted one so badly. But my bitch mother kept saying, I'm an insurance agent and that'll make our rates go up and blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck you.
I'm going to definitely disagree with your parents. I think children should have a trampoline.
So do I. In fact, I think me as a child should have had a trampoline. I probably would be a lot more like well-developed going into adulthood if I was able to jump around.
At first, I've been through it. Like when I was a little kid, we did have a trampoline like 10 years old. Parents got divorced, lose the trampoline. And then I ended up moving from Colorado to Iowa to the country. And I couldn't really skateboard because all we had was like a little tiny driveway that was like really crappy concrete. So I just spent my time on that trampoline, dude. And I literally, at like 13 years old, could do a 1080 backflip on that thing. I still have a video of it from a little kid, and it's the funniest thing because I don't know how I still have this video. It's my old, one of my oldest videos, and I have my little brother filming it, and it's so funny because, I'm asking him, hey, dude, I'm getting really close to this. Can you film this? And to do this, I'm just flinging my body and hoping that I'm, hopefully like you're landing where you're supposed to. You know what I mean? And the funny thing, it took me a couple tries to get it decent. And my brother must have gotten bored, and he's probably 9 or something, 10. And so you can hear him in the background, and he's just singing his own little song, like, boom, boom, digga, digga, boom, dee, doom, dee. It's like the funniest fucking thing. Like going back on it, he's in his own little zone trying to film me. And I mean, anyways, like a random trampoline story. Now, later on in life, I think it helped me athletically a lot. I never did any gymnastics at all, but I can do backflips and stuff.
Let me tell you my trampoline trauma. I wanted a trampoline. I would ask for it all the time. I was always met with no. Okay? My entire childhood, never could have a trampoline. Too dangerous, whatever. I move in with my dad in high school, and my mother realizes, the first child, it didn't work out. I was a disappointment. I was a failure, whatever the case. So she gets a new one. She has to adopt. And this little fucker gets whatever he wanted. He got a trampoline. Immediately gets a trampoline. Oh my God. Has a trampoline forever.
Well, I guess
I dream about like a gas leak in their house.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Fuckers.
Well, those insurance rates, we must have got better quotes.
Yeah. No, she just wanted something that would love her back, so she gave it like everything.
Oh man. Anyways,
not bitter, totally over it. Not upset. I don't dwell on these things.
I guess the trampoline thing was a sore subject.
Yeah, why don't we talk about trampolines some more? You fucking asshole.
You know what I love?
We were talking about shoes and you brought up trampolines.
Girls jumping on trampolines. That's what I love.
Never got to see that. Because my childhood was fucked.
I used to watch it on The Man Show all the time. Remember The Man Show?
I do remember The Man Show.
A solid 2 or 3 seasons of television.
Well, for our age, I could not watch The Man Show today and enjoy it.
You don't think so?
I know I couldn't. I've watched clips and
maybe
it's like the cringiest fucking shit nowadays. But as a child, like early teens, Man Show, Spike TV,
it's super
like
chauvinistic.
1,000 Ways to Die. Those type of shows were meant for like boy children, but not for adult males.
I cannot watch those 1,000 Ways to Die shows.
What do you mean? It was so campy and stupid.
Because then all I could think about is I'm gonna find some stupid way to die now. I don't know, man.
I remember specifically on, I think it was 1,000 Ways to Die. Everything. They were like, they lead into the show and they're like, we're gonna show you this one trick that will guarantee you to get it in the back door. And then. So like they're going to, by the end of the episode, they're going to teach you how to do anal 100% of the time. And guess what their solution was by the end of the episode? What? The only way to guarantee it is to stick your dick in your car's exhaust pipe.
Car's exhaust pipe.
It doesn't make sense. But that's the level of like intelligence that those shows were dealing with.
Oh man.
The Man Show was pretty fun when I was a little kid, but yeah, you try to watch an episode a day, I dare you. It is fucked. It is like unacceptable.
I guess it's been so long. I guess I only remember little clips like the Man Show Boy, which I think still kind of cracks me up because they had a little kid who I think is a little kid. I don't know if it was one of those like kids that like is an adult but looks like a kid. But anyways, they'd have him like
Andy Milonakis. Yeah.
He still looks like he's a kid, but he's like 40 something. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it was a kid, and they had him go to like liquor stores and try to buy alcohol or try to sell alcohol as like a little lemonade stand, but like a beer stand, and I don't know.
That's fun.
Just funny things that a kid would never do.
That's fun. For sure.
That's the only thing I can remember besides girls jumping on trampolines, I guess. Oh, I do. Oh my god. Now thinking about it, I think there is some terrible jokes that we probably shouldn't even mention.
We'll avoid that.
I just remembered a couple of them. Anyways,
what'd you do this weekend?
Well, I was wondering what we're going to talk about. We went to Collecticon.
Oh, you're wearing your shirt. I got a shirt too, but I'm probably just going to sell it.
Nobody's going to buy a Collecticon shirt, are they?
Maybe for $5 or something. I don't know. I'm definitely never going to wear it.
This is like a gym shirt. You could wear it to the gym. What do you wear?
I'm not going to the gym.
I thought you were gonna say you only wear cutoffs or something.
Yeah, I only wear a sock.
So, I don't know if you might have seen it first, or we both saw it, but I think I messaged you about this thing.
Collecticon?
Collecticon.
I messaged you about it 7 or 8 months ago.
Oh, okay, so you were really way on top of it, and then I just happened to see it on Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wasn't even 100% sure if I was gonna go or not, but it seemed kind of interesting because it was a 2-day event and it had Vanilla Ice as a performer. Yeah. Which, I guess that's. I've been to a lot of concerts before, and you could easily pay $100 for a concert ticket. So this was $100 for 2-day event. And
are you calling what Vanilla Ice did a concert? I don't know if anybody knows Vanilla Ice.
Oh, that poor guy, man.
But surely you've heard of the song Ice Ice Baby. He went up there and he performed like 8 songs. He opened with Ice Ice Baby.
I don't even think it was that many.
It might have been 5 or 6 songs.
I don't even think it was 8, dude.
He opened with Ice Ice Baby. That was the only song of his that he played. The rest of the songs that he played were other people's songs.
I can almost go through it. He played Ice Ice Baby.
Okay.
And then he played the Ninja Turtle song because he was in the original Ninja Turtle movie.
Oh, yeah. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
And I don't even know if there's a rap part to that. I just feel like that was just the one scene where he was playing Vanilla Ice in the movie. Like, I don't think
Ninja might actually be his song. It might be his song. I don't know about that.
Because I was really confused about that.
So he maybe played 2 of his own songs.
Okay, there we go. I was going to go with 1.5, but
1.5.
Then after that, the third song, I don't know if this was his song or not. It was a very what you would see at these. I was going to say call them raves, but people don't call them raves anymore. What do you call them now? EDM?
You're looking at me like I would know.
I know.
I put my fucking light up gloves on, and I fucking
basically, and I couldn't tell. This song I have never heard of. I think this might have been her. The third song might have been his.
No shot.
And I think what he did was he tried to catch a trend and try to hit this EDM scene and try to just. It was a very conventional EDM beat and just him, trying to pump up the party kind of a thing. But so that song's questionable. I don't even know. But after that, it was all covers.
He did like Nicki Minaj potentially. Yeah. I don't know these. I'm not great with music.
Nicki Minaj.
He did Gangsters in Paradise.
he finished with Gangster's Paradise because he said Coolio was his homie, and R.I.P. to Coolio, which R.I.P. Coolio. We didn't get a chance to talk about.
The
Coolio.
point is that he was just.
And then the last one, I'll say the last song was a Taylor Swift song. So that was 5 or 6 songs I just mentioned.
But yeah,
And maybe.
But he was just He would
2 or
put the
3 of them
songs
were his.
on, and it wasn't like the instrumental for the songs. It was the actual songs, and he was just singing along with Taylor Swift or with Coolio or whatever the fuck.
And it was just the chorus.
Yeah,
He wouldn't sing anything. He just kind of hopping in the chorus and try to pump people up. Now, this guy is. We're talking about a guy that was a literal one-hit wonder, one and a half hit. He seemed to kind of probably stumbled upon the Ninja Turtle one.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But you've heard the stories about him. A one-hit wonder goes bankrupt, and then what do you do, man? And I guess he's created this little show that he can go to little conventions like this. Like he's not. I don't think he's headlining
dude.
anything.
Really interesting side note. I told you about this, but I'm sure nobody else knows about this. Once his one-hit wonder fame happened, and like he's doing the bankruptcy, his life was falling apart. He became addicted to opiates, and I don't know if he tried to kill himself, but he overdosed on them, and that was a turning point for him. And he decided he's going to change his life, and he started doing jet skis, and he became number 6 in the world for seated jet skis, which I assume is just racing.
What a turn.
And now he's just a crazy, like, QAnon mega Republican.
Yeah. He's got everybody's got an opinion.
After Ice Ice Baby, though, like, he could have, talk about getting, like, propelled into fame. And then throwing it all away. Now you're doing conventions. Now you're doing trading card conventions.
I think probably most famous people that come into money fast lose it fast.
Yeah.
All those football players, what do they say, like 50% or more of them?
Oh, dude. I remember I was working at a really shitty apartment complex. I've talked about it before. It's where I saw my first murdered body, this shithole. I remember going on tour with a guy, and I'm doing the application with him, and he had a Super Bowl ring on. And he played for the Miami Dolphins. He won a Super Bowl, and now he's trying to apply at like the shittiest apartment community in Glendale, Arizona. Oh my god! And he could have sold the ring. I guarantee he could have sold the ring for and bought a car or something.
Sure, but that's his last of his.
That is his last piece of
treasures.
This is who I was.
It's pretty wild how do you get to that point? I've known 2 professional football players in my life so far out here in Colorado. One's Kenneth Lanier, who was on the Broncos, and he now owns some storage facilities out here, and his sons have kind of come up in the game, and I think their sons are also starting their own facilities as well. And I just a random example of awesome idea for retirement. Hopefully, him and his sons drive around little BMW motorcycles, and I'm like, okay, he's doing all right.
Yeah,
I don't think he spent it all. The other guy I know is from jiu-jitsu. He was on 2 or 3 NFL teams, and now he is a corporate real estate agent.
You know what's weird? I think that a lot of ex-pro athletes get into real estate. I've seen that story a lot.
I've heard it a bit in the pro skateboarding world too. There's a couple of well-known guys that got out of. I've heard it in the UFC too. There's a very well-known fighter, Al Alaquenta, who was a title contender, top ranked, top 5 fighter. And I mean, you don't realize it. I mean, you don't know if you know this, but those guys that are ranked in the top 10, most of them still have another career that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was telling this to Kelsey the other day. Professional skateboarders, the ones that last, usually have their hands in something else. Like Tori Pudwell creating Grizzly grip tape.
yeah,
The shit like that. Like these people who you saw when you were a kid and they're still skating competitively probably have another side thing going on. And if they didn't create that other line of revenue and they only relied on competitions and sponsorships, they probably didn't last that long.
Ed Templeton, photography and art, and I can go on and on about skateboarders and
their side businesses. But anyways, back to Collecticon.
oh yeah,
It does kind of make sense a little bit that he was the song performer, because it is like they were mostly 90s people there. You know what I mean? These trading cards, Pokemon, shit like that. This is all like
a lot of
blew up in the late 90s.
Yeah, it's all these people nostalgic of the 90s, you know, and
Right.
and there's certainly people there that were a little older too. Like I'm sure 80s stuff is still very popular and stuff, but I don't know, man. This specific event was mostly trading cards.
Non-sports trading
And
cards.
mostly non-sports. There were like 2 sport card booths. Who I was randomly, like I told you this, the one guy there, I heard him talking, and he's like, "How you doing today?" And he's like, "Man, I'm like one of the only 2 sport cards booths here, so I'm killing it right now." Like,
Hell yeah.
I'm sure a couple of dads are there with their kids. Their kids wanted the Pokemon stuff, and the dads wanted to play.
You know what's wild? Did you
cards.
like do a head count on children? There were less than a dozen kids there. That surprised the hell out of me.
You know,
I only saw a few every now and then.
there were certain families. Yeah, there were certain families.
I thought it'd be funny if they took like a picture of every male that walked in and like a computer kind of like algorithm meshed their faces together, because it would just be a 30-year-old white guy. That was like the demographic there. Yeah.
Speaking of no kids being there, though, in the Vanilla Ice concert, he, in the last 2 or 3 songs, he says, "Whoever wants to come up on stage and dance with me can dance." And I think like whoever had a backstage pass could come up and they start dancing. And he kind of got to choose, and he chose like a couple kids. And there's one kid who came up, and I think the kid was actually dancing at first, maybe, or kind of getting into it. And then he kind of like singles this kid out. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And he's like, "Michael." And then he's like, "Oh, hey, this is," he like shouts this kid out to the whole crowd, like, "This is Michael here." And I don't even remember what Vanilla Ice said, but it totally embarrassed the kid. And Vanilla's like trying to dance with him, but then the kid just like shut down. And then Vanilla tries to, I keep calling him Vanilla. What's his name? Rob?
Mr. Ice.
Mr. Ice. He literally grabs Michael's arms and tries to fling him around, like trying to make the kid dance, and the kid's not having it. And Mr. Ice stops, and the kid is he's in front row. Everybody else is dancing, and he's straight up just stone faced. Like, I think looking at his parents or something like that. And I wish I would have gotten a video of that, because it was the funniest fucking thing of this kid just not having fun up there and getting embarrassed by Vanilla Ice. Oh, shoot.
I did not watch Vanilla Ice's concert, but I heard it. I was as far away from the stage as you could be in this convention center, and I could not speak to the person next to me because it was so loud.
Yeah, it kind of took over the whole thing.
It definitely did.
I couldn't believe that they had like some of the Pokemon voice actors, like, oh, never mind. I'm thinking about something else. I didn't realize that they had the original singer for the Pokemon song on there. That was kind of funny. I think he hyped me up more than Vanilla Ice did.
Dude, imagine you're the singer, maybe even songwriter for the Pokemon song back in the year 2000. and you have no idea what this thing is about to become. And
Well, this guy,
23 years later, you are still at conventions doing autographs because this is your one-hit wonder type deal.
I thought this guy was so interesting because he seemed like he had been in like garage bands and stuff, and like he was a total like 80s hair band kind of singer.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you
That's
saw
the
this guy.
impression I saw him
Now
a few times,
he's like bald now, like he's
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
an old
yeah,
man now. But I just got this impression like this guy listened to so much Guns N' Roses and even back before, even a little bit earlier than that stuff. Just how he sings, man. And it was funny because this guy, they put him up on stage with the dang Pokemon song still, and he is belting it out and trying to, and he puts that kick on it, man. If you hear that song, I wanna be the very best. It's kind of like a fucking Eye of the Tiger, man.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
It's just like that, but.
On stage
into
dancing with him were 3 Pokemon mascots. One of them was a Charizard that definitely had a learning disability. I wish we got a picture of it because this Charizard, I've never seen anything like it. Its face was so fucked. Just
It was like upwards, like it's supposed to be a dragon, but this thing was like
yeah, it was like vertical and like smushed in weird spots.
looked like he sat on it on accident.
It was definitely like the runt of the litter. Like
You can look it up. I looked up Collecticon on YouTube to see if we got caught in any clips or anything, and I did find the lady we were in front of one of the Metacon lines for.
Metazoo?
Metazoo. When we were in line for the original Metazoo creators autograph.
Yeah.
Remember the chick that took forever to get the autograph right in front of us?
No, but
Well, she
left an impression on you, I guess.
the reason I brought it up is because I looked when I was on YouTube looking up Collecticon. She was a YouTuber and she had been filming in line. She never turned around to look at us because I suppose that'd be weird, like but she was filming in front of her, and when they did countdowns. And
She have dark hair?
yeah, like Hispanic kind of.
She posted in the Metazoo Discord. She filmed herself opening a pack of cards with the creator.
That's what I was gonna get at.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. That's what you saw.
That's why she took so long. Was,
Yeah.
she was filming herself for YouTube, opening packs live with him.
That's
I was
pretty
like,
cool. Yeah,
I would have never even thought about that when we were
it's a great idea.
rolling
though.
up to
That's
get
incredible.
an autograph. Just hey, can I get some quick? You're only there for 2 seconds. And the guy, I tried to crack a joke with the guy. The funny thing is, we got autographs from the creator of Metazoo, which if you don't know what Metazoo is,
It's a TCG.
it's a newer TCG coming out. Very similar artwork to like the original Pokemon, kind of watercolor-ish.
Watercolors, yeah.
And a lot of characters are very similar. So
Their whole thing is like all the monsters that they use are for this first few sets are American cryptids, like Bigfoot and Mothman and Chupacabra, shit like that.
I like that. That's cool. So Metazoo, next set could be different animals, or next set could be who knows what's going to happen.
It could be cryptids in Europe or South America or some shit. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm a new fan of this. Obviously, you've been into this for a little bit longer. You've actually bought cards and stuff. They were giving out free cards and packs and exclusive cards, and they had autograph lines at this Metazoo stand with the original artist and for 1 hour the original creator. So we were in line, like I said, in front of this YouTuber, which I wish I would have asked to open a pack with the guy and
that would have been so
it.
cool.
Like, that would have been so smart. But he had this like little promotion going on where if you would have bought one of the blister packs, it gave you a little coin, and if you gave him a coin, it was a free autograph or something? What was it?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
He doesn't charge anyone for autographs, but you have to give him a coin from a blister pack or something like that.
to prove you're
I think it's
one
just
of his
cool
crew.
because like you get Pokemon coins all the time, and they don't get used in gameplay. I mean, there's rule books saying you use a coin, but everyone just uses dice to flip a coin.
People, I mean, the coins are kind of weird because people do like to collect those. But
Yeah, I
I
get them graded.
all the stupid damage counters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna. I get like throw those away.
Eat them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool because like their coins are metal, and it's almost like a currency because at these conventions you use them to buy an autograph from the creator, or sometimes they'll like say a coin for a pack or whatever.
I get it. Like he doesn't want to just give stuff away for free. Like at least prove to me you're buying something. And
Right. Exactly.
and,
Exactly.
I walked up to him and just kind of joked with him. I was like, "What are you doing with all these coins, man? You got to melt them down, make some more for the next set." And he just kind of giggled, and that was it. It was almost kind of awkward because he's like getting through his signature super fast, which he doesn't even do a signature. He puts he has like a symbol that looks like two letters put together or something.
This is super interesting. I told you about this, but this is an interesting tidbit. Every new set of MetaZoo that comes out, of now which there have been 5, in every set he adds something to his symbol.
Oh my!
That he signs with,
so you can tell what time frame.
So you can
in.
tell, the year that, or like the set that he signed this thing in.
Okay, I like that. Because at first I was like, people are gonna forge this so easily and shit. But
it's easily forged. I
guess
think
you could, but
I mean, it looks like a music note almost. It's like a line, and then a swirl, and it's like you could easily forge that. That's not a hard symbol to learn, unlike an autograph.
But anyway, I get what he's getting. I get the idea. It's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Speaking of autographs, this is the first event that I've ever been to. I've never actually been to a Comic-Con, or I know I went to like one trading card event with you a long time ago, but this one was definitely like a big show. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I actually had like celebrity autographs there. Like we done card places, but this is more of like a Comic-Con-esque. It was like Comic-Con meets card convention, I would say.
Exactly.
It was more of a mix there.
I think I don't know when Collecticon first came out, but you might not remember this. I've been going to conventions for a while. It used to be, so the San Diego Comic-Con, right? Yep. It used to be every state would put on their own Comic-Con. Well, the San Diego Comic-Con started suing states, saying you can't call it Comic-Con.
Because
it's not Comic-Con.
Thing.
Yeah. So I went to
San Diego, like it's not one person, the whole fucking state.
It's like someone who puts this on,
or somebody
a company
actually
or something.
Copyrighted properly.
So I would go to the Phoenix Comic-Con for a long time until they had to change their name. And now there's only 2 official Comic-Cons, San Diego and New York. I'm guessing.
I didn't know, because I kept trying to search like Comic-Con Denver coming to town or something.
What I'm guessing is I bet that used to be called Comic-Con. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm making an assumption here, and maybe like they're like, fuck it, we'll change it up, and maybe someone was like, no, we'll do 5 of these things in different states, and we'll call it Collecticon. We'll do our own brand.
I'm very interested at who was running that event, because you could be right. It could be previous Collecticon people, or it could have been people that recognize that it could be somebody that just thought they could make a cool event.
And if it is, they are, because they do 5 of them throughout the country every year.
Yeah, I had a blast, honestly. I back to my autograph thing, because I did pay a little bit higher ticket for no reason. But
that's
not much. It was only like I paid an extra like $10 or something, but and I got a t-shirt, so really whatever. I got a t-shirt for $10, but the VIP pass that I paid for was supposed to get you in a VIP autograph line faster. And my experience with like celebrities has always been like pro skaters or pro fighters, really. And every time I've encountered one, I've never been charged for an autograph. and sometimes usually it was at skate demos or something, and they'd have like an autograph time, and people would roll up there with 2 or 3 things for them to sign, and you just had to kind of get in line fast. So I figured, okay, the VIP pass, I'll be able to get in line fast, and then we get there, and they have all these celebrities lined up. It was pretty wild, man. There was a lot of voice actors. The voice actor for Sonic, who was also the voice actor for Mirage from Apex Legends. They
Mario
so
voice
many.
actor,
Mario.
Ash Ketchum, Brock, Dark Magician Girl, Saitama from One Punch Man.
So yeah. Oh, and 2 of my favorites were the original black and red Power Rangers. I'm a huge Power Ranger fan from when I was a kid. So I get up there, and these guys are charging like $50 to $60 per autograph, and I'm just like, oh, that's quite a difference. But I get it now. These guys are like, and this is what they do at Comic-Con as well. I don't know why I never like put 2 and 2 together. Like I knew like they charge for them there, but I don't know. I ended up only getting like MetaZoo autographs from those artists because they only charge like $10 a piece.
Yeah. Well, I ended up seeing a lot of the celebrity to get autographs from, and yeah, they all charge like $50. But my thought was like, I can get this card or this Funko Pop for like $10 to $20 maybe. Spend $50 to get it signed, throw it in PSA for another $30. Now I'm in like $100, but I can sell this thing for $200. So I was just there collecting autographs to resale.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I think most of the stuff you got was to resell, and
except for one thing.
You got one thing you're keeping?
Well, I have to keep because I went to the voice actor for Ash Ketchum, and she didn't have any line, and I was like, this is weird. You're playing such a prolific character. You're the only one without a line. I get up there.
She had no line.
I find out that her signature is $100.
No. I didn't hear that part.
And
oh my God.
She's like, oh, what's your name? And I said, it's Cody. And she immediately writes Cody on the card. And I was like, before she signs it, I'm like, oh. Like I audibly gasped, like, wow. And then she goes to sign the next card, and I'm like, just your signature is fine on that one, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
She actually, on the card, she wrote, Cody, I choose you, because like Ash Ketchum's phrase is I choose you. But dude, she said, I choose you in like the Ash voice. And after what had just happened, it just made me fucking upset and like cringe a little bit. I was like, God damn it. Yep. But everyone else's signature costs $50 a piece, and I got several.
$100, and you're gonna have to keep that one. Put it on your wall now.
That one I'm gonna have to keep until I can find a Cody to resell it to. So if any Codys are out there looking for a Ash Tops TV10 promo that says Cody, I choose you. For it. I'm at least $100, but I'm gonna need to sell that for like $200 to feel good about it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Otherwise, I'm keeping it, I guess.
The other cool thing too, I didn't mention, but the MetaZoo artist line charged $10 like for a little doodle and $50 for like a legit drawing on a card, like a
commission, like that.
Yeah, it was and people do this with Pokemon cards too. Sometimes the regular Pokemon will be in the middle, and then they'll do art all around the card, so it you can't see the attack or anything like that. But now it turns into a whole little piece of artwork, and they were doing that live at the Collecticon, which the line obviously took forever. You had to like leave your card there and come back if you wanted one of those big commission ones done, but you got one done, and it looks amazing.
Oh, I love that card.
I'll
probably hang on to that one for a bit.
Oh, man, I mean...
A lot of the MetaZoo cards I'll probably just hang on to. Like the autographs from the voice actors, those are quick flips, but the MetaZoo shit, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
It's a little piece of art, man. It's what do you value it at now?
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody else will value it at $100 or something, but...
$5,000.
Yeah, I mean that's everything has a price, but
Yeah, everything does have a price.
the really cool thing that got me so pumped up. Well, first of all, I think I have a gambling problem because I went to this dang Collecticon, and every single time there was a spin the wheel, I hit it up. All right, it was like $5 or something. Spin the wheel, you get a booster pack or something better.
Most of them
hopefully.
were $5, but Dalton found the one that cost $8. And that's the one he kept going back to.
High risk, high reward here, okay? They had the best prizes.
There were 20 possible prizes. One of them was an ETB. The rest were a single pack of Pokemon cards.
And they kept saying, I keep giving all these ETBs away. Man. I just keep giving them away. Not to me. I tried that one too.
The most devastating thing for me was when at the last $8 spin you did, is when you asked, what ETBs are there? And they're like, they're battle styles.
Yeah, they have like some really nice ones up on the shelf, but it doesn't say what. I asked them, you get to choose whatever ETB? Yeah, you get a choice battle styles or whatever the other like lamest one you can choose.
Shelling Rain or some shit.
I ended up pulling like a celebrations pack out of that, and that ended up being the best roll out of all of them because those celebrations packs are about $8 a pack. So I evened out on that one. But anyways, I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I didn't do this till the second day where I started asking for trades. And, I mean, we walked around this thing so much and we stood in line so much. But I wasn't prepared enough either. Like, I didn't know. I had watched one or two videos on YouTube of people doing these trade-up challenges. And it seemed like a lot of them start at these kind of card shows because you can trade a $1 for a $1 card, and hopefully trade that $1 card for a $2 or $3 card, and that $3 card.
Well, it's
for
really
the
cool is you
$5
can
card.
start at like a MetaZoo line and get a free pack of cards. So now you're trading up with no money invested.
Right. I mean, we didn't fully take advantage of the event like I feel like we could have. It was more of a
Learning experience.
definitely a learning experience, and after that, I started watching all these YouTubers and their trade up challenges and stuff, which there actually is not a whole lot on YouTube.
Interesting.
I think we need to really get into this a little harder because I'm telling you, there's like maybe 2 or 3 people that are actually doing it right.
It would be so easy. You wouldn't even have to be obnoxious with it. Like, I'm filming you. Just tape a GoPro to your chest and film the whole thing. And now, like, you can cut, like, when it didn't work. You know what I mean?
There's so many different possibilities with it. I mean, personally, I think you and I could definitely easily be successful in the Pokemon market just by itself. But I was watching a bunch of other YouTubers, and one guy I think that's probably doing some of the best trade up challenges right now on YouTube is Connor TV. I had never heard about this guy till after Collecticon. I started looking up trade up challenges, and he's just it seems like a pretty conventional YouTuber, kind of like it seems like a daily vlog kind of guy, but he's also doing shit like trading up shit or little themes to his videos, obviously, but it's constant. And he's young, and his dad is just walking around filming him most of the time.
That's funny.
Either his dad's doing it or he'll set it up at his house. But the kid must be rich, man. Like every time like, you know how we have our wall in the background here, he has this very similar like little shelves, but every time he does a different video, he put different skateboards or like Supreme products or something in the background. And this kid, the trade up challenges, why I brought him up too is he does definitely do a lot of Pokemon cards, a little bit of like at yard sales, which is probably the toughest part, like going up to a random person and saying, I got this thing, would you trade me for it? He does a lot of pawn shops, which end up being a lot of Pokemon cards. Sometimes it was like gold or silver necklaces, shit like that, or actual coins and things. He also,
I wish I had a real gold coin. You know what I mean?
fuck yeah, man. It made me think about all this shit in my house. Like, a lot of this stuff I'm hanging around to sell on eBay probably. But at the same time, like, can I trade that for a gold coin?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be somebody that wants that, maybe, right? Now, yeah, he does the pawn. Now, he has goals, and the first one was like penny to a PS5, and then he did a penny to a iPhone 13, and then a penny to another PS5, and then it was during this one he's like, I'm just gonna start. Like at the end of the goal, I'll sell that thing and put it towards a Tesla. So the whole thing is going to be penny to a Tesla, but it's probably going to be pretty tough for me to trade something once we get into the $800 to $1,000 range, unless, you're going to fucking expensive watches or luxury items that is super hard to trade now. So he's like, once I get up to these little goals, I sell it, and he's got 20, 30 videos, tons of trades, and
it's like the guy who did the pen to a house or whatever the story is.
But I'll say usually, and everybody hears about that story, the pen to the house, and that story is just the randomest items. This kid definitely specializes in mainly Pokemon cards and shoes. Which it almost made me want to get into the shoe market, really, because
I've wanted to get into the shoe market for so long. I think they're so cool, but it's like I don't know anything about that shit, and it would take so long to learn. Same here,
and it's a whole learning curve, and I'm so worried I get ripped off by some fucking scammers.
100%.
But I know we could be very easily successful in the Pokemon market, but shoes is so interesting too, man. Like
sometimes I'll hear about a shoe drop randomly because like I'm on weird subreddits.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh damn, that shoe is so cool. And then I'll watch the drop. I'll watch the drop happen. I'll watch it sell out in a minute, and then I'll watch people resell for like 5x. And it's like, what in the fuck? But I don't ever pull the trigger, because it's like I actually don't know what I'm buying. What if this drop is a bust or something?
That's the thing is there's so much learning to go into that, and you could definitely get things verified and all that. But anyways, he definitely does a lot of the sneaker cons and even pawn shops that have shoes, and he'll go to more specific shops that seem to be happening more now. Like I want to call them like shoe shops, but they're more the specific, like the specialty Nike sneaky hair. Yeah. But then the shops sometimes the shops are different. Sometimes the shops have a couple of other products, vintage products and things. Or the one guy also he was interesting. He sells mainly shoes, but then he fucking had bought 20 PS5s because they were really hard, and sold those in his store. Like, and it made me think, first of all, I think currently you and I have enough inventory to start up our own table at one of these conventions easily. You got enough PSA slabs, and I got enough other random Pokemon memorabilia and merchandise and bullshit. Or we can just make it a funny like thing to promote YouTube and have a funny wheel on it and just give away good and super shitty prizes or something like that. Because there's a lot of people at Collecticon that were doing that too. That we saw a bunch of successful YouTubers, and maybe some of them were successful, but they were just hustling on their tables, giving out cards and subscribe, and then you get a free sticker or some bullshit, whatever it was. But it made me also think, not between Collecticon and when we went to ThriftCon, which was like vintage T-shirts and other memorabilia. I'm really thinking like I could start a little storefront like that. Could I have a little storefront with like cool vintage stuff that I would be into, skateboards, Pokemon cards, similar to a pawn shop, but I don't think I would get into every little fucking thing that you could buy. It would be more
specialized.
Yeah. And then, in the back, we do all the online bullshit. We have a little storefront in the front, and then a bunch of storage or in the basement, whatever it is, and yeah, it made me think about that. I started separating all my inventory, and it really started at ThriftCon or what was the other one? ThriftCon, yeah. I started separating more of my cool vintage clothes and stuff that was more like for Denver or this area as well, because maybe if you're coming from somewhere else, you want to buy the Denver shit, and we have abundance of that. If we go to a Goodwill, I get hooked up with that. Anyways, I started separating like other weird vintage things too that were just stuff that I've been kind of holding on to that I obviously plan on listing, but I keep buying stuff so fast that and sometimes some of these things are kind of cool, so they might sit up on my shelf for a minute, but I have no intention of like keeping it forever. It's just like it's just sitting there right now because I haven't gotten to it yet.
Right.
So I almost feel like, damn, man, with all this fucking shit I got laying around, I could just start a storefront and put my eBay in the back, and or even just do little tables. I don't know. I've just been really thinking about that and separating my inventory differently. We also talked about the Brass Armadillo here in Denver, which is it's a small franchise, I believe. There's only a very maybe 10 locations throughout the United States.
Yeah.
And there might be different similar things to this, but it's a giant warehouse that has little glass cases or little cubbies or sections that people rent out, and you just keep your stuff there with little labels on it, and workers will be there. If somebody wants your item, they'll collect it and put it to the front, and then you buy it right there, and you don't have to be there to watch your stuff. You're basically paying for them to manage and sell your shit, and you pay a small fee. And that could be the reason I brought that up too, is because it was something I recently found out about, and I thought, man, the people running this have to be super old. They have, like, I've seen the website, their YouTube presence. They're not trying to get on your Instagram, and they're not trying to put on Facebook ads. Like, if you know about this place, it's because of word of mouth. And from everything I can see, there's no reason why it's not super successful. They have 50 workers in there. They're all very happy. Like, none of them seem like, disgruntled at all. Like a Walmart worker or something, you know what I mean? Like, everybody in there was psyched to be there. I mean, if you work there, you get first dibs at some cool shit too, you know what I mean? And probably discounts and all kinds of stuff, So it just made me think about possible businesses in the future and how it could be, I could grow it bigger and bigger, and I don't know, man. I think I got enough shit laying around. I can get something going now. I want to get on these Collecticons or ThriftCons or whatever, man.
Was Collecticon the first time you've ever seen a furry out in the wild?
It might be. Except for like Halloween, I guess, but
you've seen a furry costume during Halloween?
Yeah, out here in Denver.
Do you know how much those costumes cost?
A lot. I sold
like a couple grand.
I sold one on eBay once.
A furry costume?
It was one of the most expensive things I sold on eBay, believe it or not.
A legit furry costume?
Legit. I almost thought about trying to haggle the guy, because I could have literally bought it for $500 if I wanted to. I sold it for about for $1,000.
Nice.
But the story on it was the second gym that I worked here in Denver. He was a successful gym owner in Detroit. Sold that gym to his best friend for $250,000. Took that money out here, started another gym, and within like a year, he kind of just decided he wanted to change his life and do different things.
Okay.
And he had bought a giant mascot for the gym, and it was a giant, some sort of a lion or bobcat. I don't even fucking remember anymore, but it's a furry. It's a big old head and everything.
How dare you compare furries to mascots?
It's the same thing.
You need to
Yeah.
apologize right
No,
now
it's the
before the
same.
comments roll in.
It's the same thing.
It is not the same thing.
It's the same thing.
They don't usually have giant, like, love me eyes.
What you
Mascots
talking
are
about?
generally, like, animal looking, whereas furries are more, like, humanoid, like, uwu vibes type shit.
It's the same thing, but I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna show you the picture of the thing I sold and a picture of a furry, and then we're gonna see if you can tell the difference.
We'll throw them up on screen right now. I'll have Dalton send them to me. But we'll also end it there. We're right at an hour. Everybody, thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below if you've made it this far, letting us know if there's a difference between furries and mascots.
Man, I want to do a fucking trade up challenge too. Should we like challenge each other, or I don't know. How should we do this?
We can figure that out. All right. See ya.